And so of course, like you're responsible for that animal. You care for that animal. That animal provides care for you, and that animal makes you feel good in ways that you can't quantify. You can't really understand. You just realize, like, yeah, you loved him more than your family. I mean, that's just the proof is in the pudding that, like, this dog meant so much to you, and now guess what? No more dog. I don't mean to laugh, but it's just life is cruel, and life is a cruel joke sometimes. Dude, fuck off. I'm trying to have a nice conversation, and Ishin is being a sneaky bastard. Alright? You know, I'm trying to talk about how my guy Tyler has to move on from this loss and maybe get a puppy or something. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm trying to do two things at once. I mean, that's heartbreaking, dude. I'm trying my best, as you can see. I'm trying my best on two fronts. This is a war on two fronts right now. But I think I'm doing okay. You know, I think I guess I'll put it this way. You know, I think Tyler, one day, like, if you keep watching me, I think there will come a day when you will see a video about Elvis dying, right? And I will upload, and I will create something talking about how I feel now that I've had a cat, and I've had this cat that I value so much, and now he's gone. And then I'll have that video, and I'll make that clear that I want to talk about how this makes me feel and how this cat has made me feel over my entire life. And you know, I got him when I was 20. Let's say 20. I got him when I was 20, maybe 19. But now I'm 21, and I'm probably going to have him till I'm 30. Like, honestly, he's only 7. He's going to be 8 in August. And it's like, if he's going to be 8 in August, I'm hoping that he lives to be 18 or 15 or whatever. You know, I hope that nothing goes wrong with him. But that's all I can do is hope. That's all I can do is just keep him, have him live a consistent life, and have him be happy every day. And all I can do is hope that something doesn't go wrong. Because that's really what it is, you know, cats, dogs, whatever, they can live to be really old, right? And maybe that's a good life for them, maybe it's not. But really, it just means that they were lucky. You know, if a cat lives to be 20, 21, it just means that, you know, they had 20 years where nothing went wrong, and nothing was too serious. Nothing was such a problem that that they had to be put down, or that it was the end. You know, nothing was at some point things just kind of end, right? And it's just, that's how it is. And that's as simple as it is. Yeah, months or years until I get another one. Wow. Well, it's important to be honest about that, I think. What I've learned, oh god, see, this is what I'm talking about. I think what I've learned is that I don't really get it. I don't really get what you're feeling right now. Oh my god. I can try and relate with you, but death is such a final thing. It's the end, and dealing with the end of something is difficult in any form, right? Like, people take the end of TV shows difficultly or hard, so I can only imagine. And I won't have to imagine at some point. I won't have to imagine what it feels like to have a loved one die like an animal. At some point that will come, and the day will come, and I will have to accept that fact, and that will be a very difficult thing for me to accept, but I will have to do it in the end, and I will I live without a dog, but I was... Oh my god. I can't believe I succeeded. I was reading your quote. So your grandparents still have a little pug. Yeah. But it's not the same. Right? Like, you know that better than anybody alive. Like, it's not the same as this dog that you've grown up with, and they're like a brother to you, and this dog that you've spent your whole life with. They're so impactful to our existence, and oh my god, that's so stupid. I tried to roll, and then I also tried to attack at the same time. Alright, I got another thing to read. We'll read that in a second. Probably when I die. Oh my gosh. But I feel for you, dude. I really appreciate that you told me that I know this now. I really appreciate it, because I feel like, I mean, you're more than my community at this point. I don't really have a community, but you know, that's like, I'm honored, honestly. I'm honored that you felt comfortable to express that to me, and I hope that I've been okay to listen to, I guess, and I hope I've been at least somewhat relatable for what you're going through, because I mean, that sounds horrible. And you know, that's one of those things that a lot of people can relate to, is the death of a pet, and you're going through it at an age that it really impacts you a lot. You know, I think about, you know, Elvis is probably going to die when I'm in my 30s, if I'm being honest. Like, he's a healthy cat. He lives well. I think that being a 30-year-old, I'm gonna react differently to death than if I was, you know, a teen or in my 20s, or, you know, whatever. Like, these first couple decades of your life is like, it's just upheaval after upheaval, and your life is just you're going through so much stuff during this time, and you are changing as a person more every day than you could possibly imagine. And I am changing more every day than I could possibly imagine. And I think no matter how aware you are in the moment, I think hindsight is really where the value is, where you get to stop and you get to kind of look back on your existence and say, you know, this death, like losing this animal that meant so much to me, I changed so much as a human being, and I think here's something that I think about a lot. We try to change for the better, right? And I think that's an important thing to realize, is that change at all is generally a positive thing, right? Change means that something happened, or you're going through something, and now you've had to adapt to new circumstances, and you've had to adapt to a different reality that you're now living in, right? Like, you're living in a reality without the animal that you love most in this world, without something that you felt so responsible for, and you cherish this creature. And guess what? Now you have to learn to exist without that, without having that easy source of love, without having something that you're responsible for. I think she could go any day because she crippled her back. She's only alive because of medicine. Jesus. Are you talking about the pug? So you have two dogs. You have two dogs right now that are, well, one of them is gone, but another one is, you know, shortly going to be out the door. That's kind of a messed up way to think about it, but you know, you're about to have a lot of death in your life. I only laugh because morbid humor is still humor. And here we go, up. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I fucked that up. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I might fail this in the third phase. That would be kind of embarrassing. So I think literally I'm just gonna wait for him to do that move. I'm just gonna be cautious. Anyway, I feel for you, dude. I'm infinitely grateful that you felt comfortable sharing that with me, and that you're comfortable talking about that with me, right? You know, in this very moment. I think that there's a lot of people in this world who really struggle with the concept of death, and with the concept that something is final, and that one day they won't exist anymore, and one day the people that they love may die before they do, or God knows what. You know, that's something that you hear stories all the time about. You know, I think about the story of being immortal and living forever. And the most common criticism with being immortal is saying, I have to watch my loved ones die, right? Like, one day you will outlive your loved ones because you are immortal, right? That is the whole premise of being immortal, is that you persist beyond all other living things, and at the end of all things you will still exist. And how do you grapple with that? Like, that is the opposite extreme that a lot of people deal with, which is like, oh, this might be it. Okay, that's what you gotta deal with. It's death. You know, if you're Sekiro, you resurrect forever. So you want to die. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Yoni! Omimoto ja. Sekiro.